I welcome you to today's lesson. My name is Paul Williams of Virginia. Today we have science for basic 1. So if you're in basic 1, today's lesson is for you. We are looking at strand 1. Strand 1, diversity of matter. Diversity of matter. And then the substrand is what? Substrand 2, materials. Materials. So let's look at the indicator. Demonstrates understanding that a mixture is two or more objects or materials put together. I'm reading it again. Demonstrates understanding that a mixture is two or more objects or materials put together. So today's lesson, we are looking at what? Mixture. All of you, mixture. Again, mixture. Have you heard about mixture before? The word mixture comes from the word mix. Mix it. Mix it. Meaning you have to put things or putting things together. Combining things. Mixing something. Mixture. Okay, so now we are looking at the keywords. The first word is what? Mixture. All of you, mixture. Again, mixture. The next word is what? Substances. 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 The next word is objects. 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 And then we have materials. 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 Then we have together. 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 So this lesson we are going to look at mixture. And I'm going to also demonstrate to you. We are going to do some small practicals for you to know what a mixture is. If you are asked to make a mixture of something, you will know how to do it and then what to also do. Okay, because if you are mixing something, you should know what you are mixing and you should know what the end result should be. You get it? Okay, so let's look at this. Look at these pictures below and tell their uses. I have pictures here, nice pictures. Their names are just beneath it. So look at this. We have this. This is what? Gary. This is Gary. So those who like Gary, yes, we have Gary here. We have what? Sugar. Hey, so if you have Gary, you have sugar. What else do you need? Then let's look at this side too. We have what? Granules. Granules. We have granules here. We have granules here. And then the next one is what? Milo. 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 Having Gary, sugar, granules, Milo. What comes into your mind? Yes, talk to me. What comes into your mind if you have Gary, Milo, sugar, and then what comes into your mind? Okay, we shall see. The next one is what? Sawdust. Sawdust. This is sawdust. We have this. This is what? Sand. 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 And then we have this milk powder. We have milk powder here. And what do you have here? Beans. 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 Okay, so we have seen how many substances? We have seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good. Let's continue. Have you eaten Gary soakings before? Do you know Gary soakings? The question is, have you eaten some before? What do they mix together to get Gary soakings? So if you want to prepare Gary soakings, what are you going to mix together to get what? Gary soakings. The next one, they mix Gary, sugar, granules, milk, and water to make what? Gary soakings. Apart from preparing Gary soakings, our mothers mix some ingredients together to prepare delicious food at home. So it is not only Gary soakings that we mix things in the house in the evening when our mothers are preparing food for us. They go and buy so many things, then they'll put them together, they will mix them, and then out of that you get delicious food that we eat. If your mother is preparing soup, if your mother is preparing stew, it is not only one thing that she uses. She uses different what? Ingredients. She uses different what? Ingredients. So she will go and buy tomatoes, pepper, fish, onion, garlic. So grind all of them and then what? Mix them, put them together. to form what? A mixture. So today's lesson is about mixture, how to put different what? Objects or different substances what? Together. Listen to me. One material, one substance, one object cannot form a mixture. When the materials, the objects, the substances are two or more, then it means you can mix them. They can what? Be put together to form what we call mixture. Okay, let's continue. We are going to mix some substances together to form a mixture. So before that, what is a mixture? A mixture is formed when two or more objects or materials are what? Put together. So listen to me, we don't just use one material to form a mixture. We use two objects, two materials, two substances, or more. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then two or more what? Substances are used to form what? Mixture. Please, you cannot use only sugar and tell me that only sugar you have formed a mixture with only sugar. You cannot form a mixture with only garlic. You need two or more different what? Materials, so that you can mix them, you can put them together to form what we call what? Mixture. Okay, so let's continue. We are going to do this activity. The focus is to mix materials together and find out whether the mixture formed are the same as the individual materials. So the materials that we will need gari and sand, Milo and what? Milk powder, sugar and beans. How to go about it? Perform this activity under the supervision of your facilitator. So in 3 groups, each group should mix these materials in any proportion. Group 1. So group 1, we are going to do this. We are going to have 3 groups. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3. Group 1, they are going to mix gari and sand. So this is gari. This is gari and what? Sand. They are going to mix it. Okay. The next group, Group 2, they are going to mix Milo and what? Milk powder. Milo and milk powder. So this is Milo and then this is milk powder. They are going to mix it. Then Group 3, we are also going to mix sugar and what? Beans. So we have sugar here, we have beans here. So 3 groups. Each group is going to do this activity. Okay, now let's continue. Observation. Do you call the final product a mixture when you put these two things together? Do you call it a mixture? That is a question for you. If yes, explain why it is called a mixture. If you put these two things together and you call it a mixture, why do you call it what? A mixture? That is the question. Or you should explain why it is called a mixture. Do you see any changes in the materials after mixing them? Let's say you mix beans and what? Sugar. After mixing the beans and the sugar, the beans, did it change to what? Maize, or it was still beans? The sugar, did it change to water, or it was still what? Sugar. So what we are to note is that even after you have mixed the materials, the object, the substances, they do not change. The individual substances or individual objects, individual materials do not change. They remain the same. Okay, so let's look at the conclusion. The final product is a mixture. What it means is that when you put two materials together, when you mix them or when you put them together, they form what? A mixture. So this sand, gari and what? Sand will give you, when you mix them, you get what? A mixture. This and this will also give you a mixture. This and this will also what? Give you a mixture. So we are saying that the final product is a mixture. This is because it is made up of two materials mixed together. So because the materials are two and we have mixed them together, we call it what? A mixture. There are no changes in the materials after mixing them. The Gari still remains Gari and the sand still remains what? Sand. No new substance is formed, even though the starting and the ending materials may look different. So even after mixing it, you still see the ingredients, you still see the components or the constituents, the materials that you mix, the same materials will be seen in the mixture. It doesn't change. Okay. So think per share. Your facilitator will provide samples of mixtures. In groups of 4, learners separate the mixtures. So sample A, mixture of different colors. So if you are to separate these, we have red color, white color, blue color, so you can separate it. And then sample B, mixture of colored chocolate what? Palettes. So here we have these 2 colors. So you can also what? Separate them. Show how the mixture could be separated. So as I said, you can easily what? Separate them. Now the component of mixture can be separated by what? Hand picking. For these 2 ones, if you want to separate them, you use your hands to what? To pick them. You can pick this, you can pick this, you can pick this. You can pick the blue ones, put them at one side. You can pick the white ones, put them at one side, and the red ones, you put them at another side. That is the best way you can do, or you should do to what? Separate the mixture. But if they are like this, it means they have what? Mixed. All the 3 colors, you have put them together. So here, what we have here is a mixture. A mixture. Okay. So what we have learned today is that a mixture is formed when 2 or more materials, objects, substances are put what? Together. So if you want to form or make a mixture, you need 2 or more materials to make what? A mixture. Gari soakings, you need sugar, you need gari, you need water, you need Milo. You can add so many things to it, and that makes it what? A mixture. Do you get it? You can't just take water alone and call it Gari mixture. No. You cannot also take Gari alone and say Gari alone is what? Is a mixture, unless you add something to it. Okay. So this is the end of our lesson, but we are going to do practicals. I'm going to show you how mixture is done, and I'm saying that mixture is when you mix 2 or more materials together. Now we will do this activity. Group 1. Group 1 supposed to mix Gari and what? Sand. So we are going to do Gari and sand. We are going to form a mixture of Gari and sand. Don't go away, just pay attention. Okay, so you are welcome once again. We are looking at mixture. We have learned that a mixture is formed when we mix 2 or more materials, 2 or more substances. So if you look at this place, we have this. This is sand. This is sand. Okay. This is sugar. And then this is what? Gari. Sand alone cannot form a mixture. Sugar alone cannot form a mixture. And then Gari alone cannot also form what? A mixture. But when I mix sand and sugar, I can call it a mixture, because mixture should always contain 2 or more materials, 2 or more substances, 2 or more objects. So here I'm going to mix 2 materials or 2 substances. So we are mixing Gari and sand. This is Gari. I'll fetch Gari. I'll bring it here. This is sand. I'll fetch some and I'll bring it here. Now, the sand is here, Gari is here. It's still not a mixture because I have not mixed them. I have not put them together. Now, let me put them together. So now, because the gari and the sand have been mixed, I have put them together like this. This, what I have here, contains gari and sand. So we call this thing a mixture. This is not a mixture. This is not a mixture. This is not a mixture. But this is a mixture. It is a mixture because we have mixed sand and gari. We have put sand and gari together. So anytime you hear about a mixture, we are talking about two or more substances that have been put together. So this one, I can add sugar to it. So if I add sugar, now it means I have sugar here, I have gari inside, and then I have sand inside. So this mixture is made up of how many materials or how many objects? It's made up of 3, because gari is in, sugar is also in, and then sand is also in. So this is what we call mixture. When we mix 2 or more, we can mix this and this. So I can take sand, let me take this paper. So I can take sand, bring it here, sugar, bring it here, and then I'll add. So this is a mixture. This is also a mixture, but this mixture has 2 substances, that is sugar and sand. This has 3 substances, that is sand, sugar, and then gari. So when you talk of mixture, this is how mixture looks like. If you have not put them together, you can't call it mixture. For example, this one is not a mixture. It is only sand. This is not a mixture. It is only sugar. This is not a mixture. It is only gari. But if I put the 3 together and mix them, I can call it a mixture, or it can be called a mixture. If I put 2 together and I mix them, I can also call it a mixture. So remember that a mixture is made up of 2 or more. 2 or more. So this is a mixture. This is a mixture because it contains 3 substances. It contains gari, sugar, and sand. This is also a mixture because it contains sugar and sand. But this is not a mixture because it is only gari, and one material cannot form, or one substance cannot form a mixture. This is not a mixture because it is only sugar. One substance cannot form a mixture. This is only sand. This is only sand. It is not a mixture because it has not been mixed with any other thing. So mixture is only formed when we have 2 or more substances. So let me put all together. And mix them. Now, is this a mixture or not a mixture? The answer is this is a mixture. Why is it a mixture? Because it contains 3 materials that have been mixed together, or that have been put together. So this is what we call a mixture. This is what we call a mixture. And if I ask you to mention the materials that form this mixture, or the component that form this mixture, or the constituent that form this mixture, I'm asking you to tell the name of the things that are inside the mixture. So we have sugar inside this, we have gari inside this, and then we have sand inside this. So today we have learned about mixture. I want you to also read your book. There are some exercises in it, and then I expect you to do it. And then the activity, you are to also mix Milo and milk powder. Yes, if you can't get Milo and milk powder, don't worry. Any material that you can get, do your mixing and tell the number of materials that you mix, and tell the name of that mixture. So this is what we have learned today, and I expect all of you to answer the questions in the book and get it correctly. Okay, so let's go back to our board. So what have you learned today? Yes, welcome back. What have you learned today? Okay, so today we have learned about mixture. We are saying that mixture is when we put two or more materials together. That is where we get mixture. So mixture is formed when two or more materials are what? Put together. We have seen a mixture of sand and what? Sand and gari. Mixture of what? Sand and sugar. Mixture of sugar and what? Sand. Mixture of gari and then sand. We have seen different types of what? Or different kinds of mixture. And these are activities that we have in the book. You should do them. Now let's go to the exercises. There are exercises here, and I expect you to do all the exercises and get the answers correct for me. Exercise 1, we have exercise 2, we have exercise 3, and then home assignment 1 and then home assignment 2. So what is a mixture? Mixture is formed when two or more substances are put together. Okay, so you can say that. Question 2, give two examples of mixes. Two examples of mixes. So gari and sugar is an example of mixture. Sand and beans is an example of mixture. Beans and gari is an example of mixture. Water and salt is an example of mixture. So we can give different examples of what? Mixture. And then home assignment 2, tell your family everything you have learned about mixtures. So all the things that you have learned today, when you go home or if you are in the house, explain to your parent what a mixture is, why it is called, or we call something a mixture. Give examples of things that we can mix, and then explain to your parents why those things, or why we call that thing what? A mixture. So this is the end of our lesson. My name is Paul Williams of Virginia. I expect you to get a copy of the book. You read it, and then you make sure you answer all the questions. Yes, if you don't understand anything, feel free. Your teachers are around, your parents are around. You can also reach out to me, and then you forward your questions, and I'll make sure I give you answers to all your questions. Once again, my name is Paul Williams of